Hello, my name is Mark. I've owned and operated a barbershop for 12 years. This is a series of videos that I'm hoping to give people just some food for thought and things that they should consider before opening a barbershop. So again, all of the laws that are applicable in your state, you're going to have to comply with. This is just simply me trying to impart things that I've learned through opening and running my barbershop. Now, kind of a full disclosure, how I opened up my barbershop is there was a gentleman who was retiring, and I decided, and I was in about, my late 30s, and I decided to go out of the business that I was in, which was a machinist for a place here in town. And I got out of it because it was like going to the dentist every day. I hated it. So I decided that I wanted to own my own business. Life took me this way. And I learned a lot of things, some of it through the hard way. And what I'm trying to do is help you to think of things that maybe you didn't think of before and will ultimately save you time and money. So the second part is about a business model. Part of what I did when I took over the barbershop was I wanted to keep things pretty much the same. But ultimately, what my barbershop is a blue collar barbershop where people stop to get their hair cut to and from work or on errands. Now, I did that on purpose. So it's a budget. I've determined where my price point is, and it's about time and speed. So people come in, they get their hair cut, they talk a little bit, but ultimately it's not a high-end salon. Now that's just what I've chosen to do. That is who I cater to, it's who I understand, and that's how I've designed my barbershop. There was thought behind it. Some of the things that you can do to determine what you want to do and what you want to open is if you go to a chain place and you're in a position where you can open up and become a chain. I don't know. You have to look and evaluate your own personal needs. Now, I will say that there's not one specific type of barbershop that is going to be successful or is going to fail. There's a lot of places that have opened that I thought for sure wouldn't be successful, and they're thriving. So I also do not have all of the answers. What I can tell you is you look around and everybody needs a haircut. Everybody somewhere, somehow is getting a haircut. Some people give themselves a haircut at home. Other people pay $100 for a haircut, $50. What is it you're going to provide? Now, I will tell you that there is more to barbering than cutting hair. Now, what we provide is a service, and that service is only as valuable as what someone is willing to pay for it. That's the dirty little secret that not everybody is going to tell you. Now, I feel comfortable in my haircutting abilities. I've done it for so long that it's just a part of who I am now. But when I first took over, it was a sink or swim type of dynamic. I had to be able to cut hair, and there was a learning curve. So when you are thinking about what type of barbershop do I want, you're going to want to go to these other places and look at what they provide. So some people, it's about the experience. Some people, it's about they hire younger women, and that's just kind of their blueprint on what makes them successful. I don't know that I have any problem with anybody having these types of barbershops. It's all about what it is you want to provide your customer and what they're willing to pay for. So when you go around to these barbershops, how much are they charging? What is the experience that they are providing their customers? For some, it's an ambiance of sports themed. I've seen military themed. I've seen all, you name it, I've seen it. And you have to consider what it is you want to provide your customers. I've decided what I provide my customers and what they're willing to pay for and how much they're willing to pay. So if you honestly are looking into going from not cutting hair, going through barber school and opening up a barber shop, you really need to understand what it is you're getting into. And the best way to understand that is to do as much research as you can. I did my research and did a lot of things by simply asking. I would go to barbershops, sit down, and I would talk to them. And I went all over town to kind of figure out what it is that I wanted. On my quest, I happened to find a guy who wanted to retire, and we struck a deal. And that's how I was able to do it. But more than likely, that's a hard thing to come by. And so how a lot of people do it is to get their customer base, they work at a place that is of their liking, of the type of barbering that they want to do. They get a clientele, and then they break off and they start their own barber shop. One of the things that I learned was some of these places have a do not compete clause in their contract. What is a do not compete clause? It means that they know you're going to start getting a customer base, but they don't want you to take their customers. So they make it where you cannot open up a barber shop within a certain amount of time, within a certain amount of range. So you have to understand that if you go work for someone and you have a do not compete clause, you have to abide by that when and if you leave. So be careful when you are asking around. Now, usually how it works is a person goes to barber school, they work at a place, they get their clientele, and then they tell their customers, I'm going to be leaving and I'm going to be going to this place. That's a pretty typical way that people get their clientele. I can also say that a lot of people, when they break off, it's kind of a carbon copy of what they left. I've known a lot of people who worked at a place, started their own business, and when I went in there, it was almost an exact carbon copy of where they left, because they understand their clientele and they understand that that's what their customers are wanting, because that's what they were paying for. Now, just some things that you really should be considering when you decide how you're going to move forward and how you're going to break into a shop. Maybe that's not what you want to do. Maybe, just being able to go into your barber shop, cut hair, and go home. And believe me, that is perfectly acceptable. It's about knowing yourself and what you want and trying to get there. Have a goal and think of the steps that you need to go to get there. If working for someone and being at a barber shop and kind of and you get along with everyone, I think that's fantastic. Don't let anybody tell you different. Anyway, that's my advice for part 2. Anyway, I'll be doing a part 3. Leave comments and tell me what I could do better. Anyway, thank you.